Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why, when my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life.
Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life.
And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
You said forever with a crooked smile. Promises fading after a while. Every word like a loaded dice. Every truth came wrapped in lies. I kept believing what you sold. Turned my heart into your home. But every crack inside these walls shows the truth behind it all. I tried to fix what you denied, but truth can't live where secrets hide.
goodness. Now, it's not Friday night. It's not Wednesday night. I was kind of bored. But we're not going to go with a full-fledged boring. Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. The post-WrestleMania low is in the air. It's in the air. I sense it. I feel it. I smell it. It's there. Do you want to know why I feel these things? Because they legitimately had Oba Femi come out and issue an open challenge every week now. You know, because they want to put him on TV every week, and if he doesn't beat guys in 30 seconds every week, then he don't find time on TV. Yet Triple H just signed a new multi-year deal to remain as the chief content officer. We're going to need better ideas than that, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue. It's Monday night. It's a brand new week. And I got one question for everybody as we finish up this last week of April. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters: long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for April 27th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. You know, the WWE has this thing where normally, after WrestleMania, going into Backlash primarily, you start to feel, you start to see, you start to taste the post-WrestleMania lull. Feels like WWE goes into autopilot. Nothing really matters. They book week to week with the least amount of effort possible just to kind of get you to the PLE where they'll then do 5 matches and they'll ride that out until the next show after that. And then when they finally get to SummerSlam is when they start turning up the burners on the stovetop because they got not 1 but 2 nights to book. So they got to do not 5, but they got to do 12 at least, minimum. For night 1 and night 2, because, you know, SummerSlam is now a 2-night extravaganza, like WrestleMania is. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. Roman gave Jacob a week to think about it. Does he still want to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion, or does he want to acknowledge the Tribal Chief? That happened on tonight's show. I think we all figured Jacob Fatu was not in a mood to acknowledge anybody. And what he said last week was basically a shoot in a worked format on a television show. So your Backlash main event is all but confirmed tonight. We'll talk about that. You do realize that the community still, it's mind-boggling to me how many stupid people will keep it PG for now. How many stupid people are out there on social media who still think Ari Emanuel and TKO, out of everybody on the roster, chose by name specifically Kairi Sane to be fired, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark to be fired. There was no Kairi Sane tonight. We did get Io and Asuka, though. My question is, how many people legitimately care about Io and Asuka now that the centerpiece of the entire storyline is no longer there? We even had a chance of we want Kairi tonight. And like WWE, they lowered the volume. Laredo, Texas was getting a little bit too loud, and they had to lower the volume, man. It's like Triple H in his rocking chair at home, man. The TV's a little too loud, and Stephanie's like, "Hey, Paul, lower the TV. It's too loud. Dial it back a little bit. Dial it back." We had another open challenge tonight. But JT, I thought Oba Femi was the open challenge. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we got not 1, but 2 open challenges tonight. Oh, man. What creativity in this company, man. But Triple H, they thought that it was great to give him another 3-year extension on top of his contract to continue to be the chief content officer, man. Man, with ideas like this, man, listen, man, let's give him a 6-year fucking contract. Becky Lynch, IC title open challenge, answered tonight by Io Sky. You know, this show, it wasn't bad, but it's almost like Triple H came up with the 2.5 hours that we saw tonight, legitimately, on the plane from Stamford, Connecticut. On the plane from Stamford to Laredo, it's like, this is what we're doing tonight. No thought, no effort, no rhyme or reason, just whatever, man. Couple open challenges, a Joe Hendry concert, man. A match here, a match there. Roman Reigns, and then we'll bid Laredo, Texas farewell. The one thing I want to talk about tonight at the Open The one thing I want to talk about here at the top, normally we start with the biggest takeaway of the show. You know, pro wrestling doesn't seem to be getting better in 2026. Nobody cares about story anymore. Nobody. You got one company who's giving you 40-minute matches up and down the fucking card with no real reason to care. And then the other company is giving you 7-8-minute matches every week in the laziest way possible to tell a story. Oba Femi has been largely protected on the main roster. He showed up in the Royal Rumble. He lasted 40 or so minutes. We weren't sure what his WrestleMania plans were going to be, if he was going to even be at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar came out and he issued an open challenge going into WrestleMania season. Brock Lesnar doing an open challenge. I wasn't a big fan of the open challenge concept, but Brock Lesnar doing one, it's a little bit more easy to digest when it's someone like Brock Lesnar doing an open challenge. They ended that after a couple weeks, and they needed to because they needed to generate some interest going into WrestleMania. And instead of sitting on the match, they actually gave us a great 5-week build for Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. He answered that open challenge legitimately in like 2 weeks. And I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad they gave the fans that match because everybody wanted it. And I'm glad they gave these two guys television to build to what was one of the more anticipated, if not the most anticipated match at WrestleMania this year. The outcome was correct at WrestleMania. Lesnar loses. He quote-unquote semi-retired. I do think he wrestles again one more time. Oba Femi put him down with a fall from grace. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. We got the ruler. The ruler has arrived. It's the way to do it. Star is made. Onwards and upwards for Oba Femi. The biggest takeaway, the biggest question from Oba Femi beating Brock Lesnar was, how is WWE going to follow up with Oba Femi beating Brock Lesnar? It's too soon to give him a championship match. It's way too soon to start talking about Roman Reigns in any capacity whatsoever. It's way too early to do Gunther, because Gunther himself is also being built up as a monster, and you gotta preserve that for a lot longer than just having him lose to Oba Femi. Well, because the new guy hit the town, we just can't switch flavor of the month here to Oba Femi. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a why as to doing Oba Femi and Gunther one-on-one. We've discussed maybe Oba Femi wins King of the Ring. Maybe Oba wins King of the Ring. He enters the King of the Ring tournament. He wins the King of the Ring. He's in the finals with CM Punk or Braun Breaker or someone that is of that upper echelon on Monday Night Raw. It'll probably end up being someone from Smackdown, because if that's the case, and if Oba does go, if they do a King of the Ring, it'll probably be someone from SmackDown. Punk may end up being on SmackDown by that point. I got a feeling that CM Punk is moving to Friday nights. Regardless, King of the Ring was an idea for Oba Femi. It's tough to book someone like Oba Femi on a week-to-week basis because he's so dominating. It's tough to book Oba Femi in a regular match because you just had him go out there and slay the beast. Anything that he does from this point on has got to be at least equivalent or greater to what he does with Brock Lesnar. You got to make him look dominant. You can't have him go out there against fucking Grande Americano and go hold for hold, submission for 12 minutes with somebody half his size. It's not the way this is working right now. You got to build him up. You got to level him up to get to that point. What do you think WWE does, chat? What do you think WWE does? They take Oba out of WrestleMania. He cuts a promo legitimately for 7 seconds last week. That's all we saw of him. Grayson Waller today wants an opportunity. He complains about Oba Femi. Oba Femi challenges him to a match. Grayson Waller loses in about 90 seconds, if that. And he goes on to get another W. He takes the microphone and then says, from this point on, every week will be an Oba Femi open challenge. I know there'll be some geek in the comment section or some geek watching me right now on Twitter that's going to clip this and complain that I'm complaining and that I don't like it and I hate everything and JD needs to get a life and he's a virgin and needs to get a woman and all this other fucking nonsense. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. You don't know a single fucking thing about anything. What have I said from day one? Pro wrestling in 2026 has largely been, it's just been void of any creativity whatsoever. You could even go back to 2025. Nothing's really changed from what was a dismal 2025. There was a lack of creativity, a lack of taking risks, scared for people to win or lose. Predictable matches that happen because the head booker wants to see matches, storylines playing out way too long, and then ultimately get no fucking payoff because we got to make fucking budget cuts to cut someone who's been on TV every fucking week because we need to make Ari Emanuel happy. When a Triple H or a Tony Khan do open challenges, what Triple H and Tony Khan are telling you, chat, is basically they're sitting in the front of the classroom and the teacher picks on them because they want to be a prick. They pick on them. And then when the teacher asks a question, they don't have a reply. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do at all. Their answer to everything is open challenge. Open challenge. How do we make this show better, Paul? Open challenge. How do we make this show better, Tony? Open challenge. The open challenge concept has been legitimately wrung out to dry, bro. Wrung out to dry. It's like leaving a wet sponge in the fucking boiling heat in in the middle of a July summer day, bro. That shit's gonna dry up so fucking quick. Boring. You want my answer to the open challenge? It's fucking boring. It's fucking boring. We didn't get one, but we got two open challenges tonight. This is after Carmelo Hayes has already stated he's not doing the United States Open Challenge because he's going to make it a main event. He's going to make it something that people need to earn. Now we're just going to do them on Monday night. We got rid of them on Friday. We're going to do them on Monday. When you see Triple H or Tony Khan doing an open challenge, it is basically them speaking to you, saying, we're lazy. We don't have any good ideas, and we're all out of ideas, and we're fucking lazy. Oba Femi doing an open challenge is going to wear him out and kill his mystique. Why would anybody answer Oba Femi's open challenge anyway unless you're an Omos or a Gunther or someone of that size? What is beating Oba Femi at this point going to do for anybody? He beat Brock Lesnar. That's it. Why would anybody want to step up to him? It doesn't even make sense why anybody would want to step up. What are you gaining from that? What are you gaining by Oba beating Brock if you beat Oba? Brock Lesnar's been back for a cup of coffee. He hasn't done anything miraculous. This is not like him beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania and ending the fucking streak. He beat Brock Lesnar in a 4-minute match at WrestleMania. Beating Brock Lesnar still has some validity to it in 2026. But if you think beating Brock Lesnar in 2026 means that much for someone to beat Oba Femi, bro, that's laughable to me. That's absolutely laughable. I get that WWE wants to book Oba Femi on the television show because Oba Femi is over as fuck. I get it. But that doesn't mean we have to see him on TV every fucking week. You're going to be throwing him out there for what? To do his fall from grace, to do his pounding of the chest and then throw people around and do his running European uppercuts. They're going to use him to aura farm his entrance because people love to do the fucking bounce and they love to chant, Oba! And they love to bark during his theme music. WWE feels that if they trot these guys out there every week, that it makes their show feel bigger. All you're doing is killing Oba Femi, and you're showing me that you're boring. There's no creativity. We don't need to see any more open challenges. I wish, if I was in charge of this company, the first fucking thing I would do if I was standing in front of this roster on day one, my first order of business is the open challenge is dead. The open challenge is fucking dead. You need to wrestle and get to where you need to go by winning matches against other competitors in your division against the same championship that you are going after. There needs to be divisions. There needs to be rules. There needs to be separation between main event, mid-card, tag team, women's. Oba Femi's going to be doing an open challenge every week. For what reason? Bro, we've been seeing open challenges since Sami Zayn and John Cena, when John Cena was the Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn then went on to win the United States Championship. I don't really understand what the fuck we're doing. I don't get it. Sami Zayn, Carmelo Hayes, Dragunov. Bro, open challenges have been a weekly thing on WWE television because they don't have a fucking clue as to how they need to book their show. And people eat this shit up. Does anybody know how to make a match or a story and get there by winning matches? Why are we giving championship matches away to people? Why are we giving opportunities away to people? Opportunities nowadays are just given away to anybody. Whatever happened to earning a title shot? Whatever happened to winning and then getting to the top of the card? Whatever happened to earning an opportunity? Oba needs to earn the opportunity to even want to go out there and do that. I don't understand what Oba Femi has that everybody wants. If you beat Oba Femi, all right, you beat a 4-month-old rookie on the main roster. You're treating this guy like he's the second coming of Andre the fucking Giant. Oba Femi has beaten who exactly? Can anybody tell me who Oba Femi has beaten? What his resume looks like? What his Rolodex of wins looks like? Brock Lesnar. That's all I know. If you think that's enough for somebody to get behind an open challenge and maybe want to take down Oba Femi, I'd love for you to tell me why that is and who that is and why you think that's important. This is what happens when WWE has somebody that gets over so quickly and someone that is unlike everybody else on the roster, that you got to book them in a very, very specific way. And this is a special case because this isn't like Gunther, who's a heel and he can go away for a couple weeks to come back and do what he's got to do. Oba is over, and WWE wants to use that to their advantage. WWE wants to fucking squeeze the juice out of that orange every single week. They want to aura farm his entrance every single week. This is what happens when you have that type of guy who is unlike everybody else. He's not built like everybody else on the roster. He's a different shape. He's a different size than everybody else on the roster. This is where your creative comes into play. If you can't figure out what to do with him, that falls on you and not Oba Femi. Don't send him out there because you want to do this and you want to do that with him. You're actually going to harm him more than you will help him. Nobody wants to see Oba Femi every week. Something like that, someone like that needs to be preserved. It needs to remain special. If he's got nothing going on into Backlash, then he's got nothing going on into Backlash. We're not going to lose sleep over it. That's where you take your pen and write the show around Oba Femi and make everything else feel that much more important so that out of sight, out of mind comes into play with Oba Femi. I'm not saying bench him until the next PLE. But you got to come up with something different to a point where he's now out there challenging anybody and everybody to an open challenge. By the time he beats everybody, we're going to do what? Everybody already wants to see him in a major spot. Why does he need to prove anything? Just give me the fucking match and get it over with. He's going to beat these low-level guys. He's going to beat these nothing guys. What is it going to mean? What is it going to mean? Open challenges are legitimately the bane of pro wrestling in 2025, 2026. You know, the Goldberg thing worked then. It's not going to work now. It's not. They don't have the roster for that. Who are they going to throw at him? Omos, Rusev, Sheamus. Who are they going to throw at him? It's very frustrating to see how little creative there is in the company. I don't want that man's mystique and that feeling of fresh tarnished because WWE needs to trot him out there. Needs to get him on TV. If he's not on TV, then he's not on TV. Make people want to see Oba. Let people tell you they want to see Oba. Don't throw him out there every week against Grayson Waller because you want to feature him on the show. Yeah, I can't wait for that Oba Femi Kofi Kingston match. Or that Oba Femi and Bravo Americano match. Give me a break. Give me a break. This was a decent Raw. It wasn't anything over the top. It wasn't anything that you're going to care about when you wake up tomorrow. Nothing really happened on this show that really points to being important. Nothing. Rollins and Breaker had a very good segment, probably the best segment on the entire show. They opened the show. They set that match for Backlash. Io and Asuka got their match at Backlash without Kairi Sane after Io opened or answered the open challenge to Becky Lynch, who took the title back for a third time, and now she wants to welcome all comers, all challengers. Io Sky answered that call. We got a little bit of a tease between Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. There may be some trouble in paradise brewing. Finn Balor's trying to whisper in Roxanne Perez's ear that you can't trust Liv. Looks like Roxanne Perez is being set up for something a little bit bigger than the Judgment Day. And Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. I don't really know where they're going with this. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu is confirmed for Backlash, being that Roman says, I'll see you at Backlash. Jacob Fatu says he wants to do it well before then. But Roman Reigns is the babyface. You got people chanting OTC, OTC. You got people throwing their fingers in the air, acknowledging him. And then Jacob Fatu, he gets the Tongan death grip on Roman Reigns tonight. And he gets booed out of the building. All this work you did with Jacob Fatu to make him a babyface going into a WrestleMania match with Drew McIntyre to ultimately turn him heel against Roman Reigns. Did WWE think this out? Is there something more that we're not seeing with Jacob Fatu? Is he going to run a heel faction against the Bloodline? I just find it kind of weird that Jacob Fatu comes out of WrestleMania, big-time babyface against Drew McIntyre, shows up on Monday. Within 2 weeks, he's getting booed out of the building because he attacked Roman Reigns. It's kind of weird. Maybe WWE doesn't give a shit. Certainly sounded one-sided to me. We'll talk about what he said and what Roman said. This is your Monday Night Raw review. It is Monday, April 27th, 2026. Jacob is the face. Well, Jay Guz, maybe you need to clean your fucking ears out. No, Jacob is not the face. Oh, man, we're wrapping up April. We're wrapping up April, man. This was... I think I can officially say this was probably the second best month in the history of the podcast. It's all thanks to you guys. You guys killed it. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. The support that you're showing. You're showing up every stream. You're showing up on Tuesdays with Tuesday Night Titans. You're showing up on Tuesday mornings with Coachman. You killed it WrestleMania weekend. The audio side of things is doing better than ever. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. You guys are making the waves. You guys are making the noise. The work does not stop until we get to where we deserve to be. And when we get there, we're going to work even harder. So continue that. Keep that shit up. Thank you guys very much. Any of the content you missed on the channel, go and check it out. We talked about all of the releases this weekend. It's on the channel. Go and check that stuff out. We're going to talk about it again tomorrow morning with the coach. We're going to talk about it in detail with the Solid Monster tomorrow. Just call me Mr. Tuesday. Busy Tuesday. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. I've been uploading a little bit more on Instagram. I've been uploading a little bit more on TikTok. Make sure you guys are there. I'm going to try and keep that consistent. We want to grow. We want to build a bigger audience. And I feel like that's slowly helping us. So make sure you guys go and follow on all of the social media platforms. Hit that thumbs up. Try 4,000 likes tonight. We already got 600. 400 should be easy. So get them on in. Super chats are open. We'll hang out at the end of the show as always. Any questions, comments, concerns, we will definitely get into it at the end of the show. And tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. My friends over at Blue Chew are giving everybody a special deal tonight. You listening? You're going to sign up. Code JD at checkout at BlueChew.com. You're going to buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold. Using that code, you're going to get the 3rd month for free. It's code JD at BlueChew.com. Smackdown is going back to 2 hours. I did see that. The time of the show, the length of the show, is not going to make it a better show. The only thing is, it will be 2 hours of garbage instead of 3 hours of garbage. The only reason why they made it 3 hours, and we talked about this when they made the announcement back in January, the only reason that they made SmackDown 3 hours is because WrestleMania season is their biggest season all year. They make their most money during the first 4 months of the year for WrestleMania season. Mixed with Braun Strowman getting his show re-upped for another season. Now that's season 2 of Braun Strowman's Eating Everything. He's going around different diners and different restaurants, eating up all their food. Now they got something that they could slot in there at the 10 p.m. time slot. So SmackDown is, fortunately, going back to 2 hours from 8 to 10. And when Braun Strowman's show is finished for the season, then they'll go back to 3 hours. I honestly think that it needs to stay 2 hours. I think you need to just internally gut SmackDown. New writing team. New everything, really. The show sucks. I fucking hate SmackDown. SmackDown is terrible. From top to bottom, that show is legitimately fucking awful. There's nothing redeeming about that show whatsoever. So no, 2 hours will not help SmackDown at all. We start things off here with Seth Rollins. He comes on out and he starts the show. Before we get to Rollins, though, WWE played a vignette. I thought this was great. I would love to see the Bloodline presented in this type of way. WWE definitely needs to go the more cinematic route when trying to convey a story. I love this type of shit. I wish that they would do this a little bit more often. So they open with recaps of Jacob Fatu, the Usos, and Roman Reigns from last week. We got this segment airing with Roman sitting at a table. On one side, he's got Jimmy, and on the other side, he's got Jay. They're having a family meeting. Reigns said he appreciated them coming and being there with him. Keep that in mind. He says they know where he comes from and they understand where he stands. He says the past is the past and he's going to leave it there. Roman said he wanted their thoughts because he didn't know where Fatu was coming from. He said he explained on ESPN that everyone had 2 years to take advantage of him taking a back seat, and everyone procrastinated. He climbed the mountain, and he beat CM Punk. Jimmy said he agreed with Roman, but he also understands Jacob Fatu's position. He says he wants to upgrade his house. He wants the money, the Rolexes, better schooling for his children. He says that shouldn't come at the expense of Roman Reigns, though. Jay then, again being that voice of reason for Roman Reigns, which is something I picked up on, Jimmy was if there was a good angel, bad angel, Jimmy was definitely the good angel, and Jay was definitely the bad angel here. Jay said Fatu is dangerous, noting that him and Jimmy went to SmackDown, and they watched him take out all of the MFTs by himself. He says he's become the shot caller now. And because of this, there has to be consequences. Reigns says they aren't doing charity. He thanked Jay and he said he's going to chew on it and make it his own and address this later. Jay and Jimmy reached across Roman and shook hands. Reigns put his hand over their backs and looked into the camera and said that they were the first family. Jay was a little bit more, Roman's got to go take this guy out. There's got to be consequences for his actions. We got to smash him. We got to make an example out of Jacob Fatu now. He wants to go against the family. We got to make an example out of Jacob Fatu. Meanwhile, Jimmy, he said he understands where Jacob is coming from, but it shouldn't come at the expense of Roman Reigns. Jay didn't give a shit what Jacob Fatu said. Jay basically said, without saying, he doesn't give a fuck about Jacob Fatu or his needs or his family. Smash him. So I don't know what the internal storyline's going to be here. I don't. I'm even more confused after what we got in the closing segment. Is Jacob going heel to lead a faction of family against Roman? Is this going to be about Jay, where Jay is being groomed as the next in line to take over for Roman? Because that's where I thought it was going from the beginning. We saw Jay kind of dipping in and out of conflict. He didn't know what he wanted to be, who he had to be. Everybody was calling him Mini Roman. Even during the CM Punk build, there was that one Raw where Jay told Roman, nah, Oosh, you got to do what you got to do. Smash him. And Roman listened without any hesitation. 2 spears and a power bomb through the table on CM Punk. All thanks to Jey Uso. Jay was the one to convince Roman of that. I don't know. The dynamic between all three of them on TV is great. I don't know how they're going to make any of this feel different than what we got for 4 years. I'm still not feeling it. We're now into week 2 post-WrestleMania. I'm not really feeling any different from what we saw last time with all of these individuals at the top of the card in the main story on the main show. I hope they prove me wrong. I really hope they prove me wrong. I want something to sink my teeth into. I want something to get lost in. You got the characters. You got the story. Build something for me to get lost in. I'm just not seeing it. Maybe going into Backlash, maybe that picture will be a little bit more clear. But the one takeaway I took from this segment is Jey Uso is legitimately holding nothing back. It doesn't matter, family or not. Make him an example. Consequences need to be had. Smash him. Seth Rollins. He comes out, starts the show. Everybody's singing his song. He's out there and he says, at the top, he said, Braun Breaker is the reason he lost to Gunther at WrestleMania. Gunther was not the better man, not by a long shot. He lost to Gunther because of Braun Breaker. He called out Braun, saying he's a little pea-brain. Breaker marches out almost immediately. He's flanked by Paul Heyman. Seth and Braun went face-to-face, just a couple of inches apart. Seth says he gave Braun everything on a silver platter, and he repaid him by taking everything away from Seth. Well, maybe Seth Rollins, he calls himself the visionary. Maybe he has revisionist history. What exactly did Braun Breaker take away from Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins took away from Seth Rollins. They're not going to let you know that. It's our job as content creators and fans to let you know that the reason why Seth Rollins is in this pickle is because he opted to do a coast-to-coast on Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. Braun didn't take anything away from him. Braun didn't take the World Championship away from him. He didn't take the vision away from him. Seth took the World Championship away from him. Seth took the vision away from him. Just making sure you guys are aware. He says he was the reason he had to forfeit the WWE title. No. And why he didn't main event WrestleMania? No. And why he didn't get his arm raised at WrestleMania? Yes. It's the only truth in anything Seth Rollins said. If he didn't get injured, he would have still been the champion. If he didn't get injured, he probably would have main evented night one of WrestleMania. The only truth that he told here is that Braun Breaker was the reason he didn't get his arm raised at WrestleMania. True. He then asked how this benefited Braun. Heyman was going to speak instead of Braun Breaker. He paused, he looked at Braun, and he handed Braun Breaker the microphone for Braun to speak for himself. What did you give Reed and I, Bronson Reed and I? He told Seth he needed them to fight his battles for him and put out all his fires that he started on his own. He says he has no friends and he has nothing. He said every week he came out there and kicked off the show, and he and Bronson Reed had to listen to him regurgitate the same stuff every week. He mocked Seth Rollins' catchphrases, visionary, revolutionary, welcome to Monday Night Rollins. Braun said he never needed him or Rollins' vision. He said he only needed Paul Heyman. Seth called Heyman a dried up sack of meat. He asked, you needed that guy? He says he called Shawn Michaels before the vision even got started and asked him to send him his best to face, and he sent him Braun Breaker. He said last year, Heyman asked him how he felt about taking Breaker underneath his wing. Seth said absolutely. With 1 year under his tutelage, he thought Breaker might be the next main event money-drawing star in this industry. He said Braun has it all. He says he's the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, and the most versatile performer he's seen in his 14 years in the industry. He says he has everything except the most important thing. And he pointed to his head. Brains. He says he knows better than anybody what it means to be a young 28-year-old that comes into WWE thinking the business owes him everything. He says he knows what it means to bet on yourself and make tough decisions that people aren't going to be happy with. He said he succeeded, whereas Braun is still just trying. Seth said every time he bet on himself, it resulted in main events or world titles, whereas Braun Breaker got Austin Theory and Logan Paul. Steak dinners and happy endings from Paul Heyman. He told Breaker he is not ready. This is what CM Punk told Braun Breaker on the way to them wrestling on the first Raw of the new year. In the build-up to that match, CM Punk ran with the narrative that Braun Breaker was too young and Braun Breaker was not ready. Now Rollins is doing the same thing now. it makes more sense to do this against Rollins because Breaker against Punk, you could get a sense that Breaker wasn't ready. Looking back at it, I'm glad he didn't win the World Championship, even though some people like me called for him to win the World Championship. A lot of people called for him to win the World Championship. But looking back at it now, which is easier than kind of speaking in that moment because we all got blinded by we need new guys, we need a top of the card with fresh talent. It started to get a little same old shit at the top of the card with Rollins and Punk. They didn't really have anybody. Jey Uso, LA Knight. Of course, Braun Breaker would look like a very good option, seeing that we got what we got. Now Monday Night Raw looks a lot different than he did back on January 5th. It makes more sense for them to run with this angle against Rollins than it did against Punk. This makes more sense. And when he beats Rollins, he will be on his way to being ready. Which is why I think if we're doing the match at Backlash, Braun Breaker needs to win. Whether he wins at Backlash or Rollins wins by the skin of his teeth and they run it back at the next PLE. Braun Breaker needs to win coming out of this Seth Rollins feud. At that point, he will then be on his way to being ready. But he won't be ready yet. I genuinely think Oba has surpassed him as far as young talent on the rise. It was Breaker before Oba got there, but Oba just kind of skyrocketed past Braun Breaker, and the injury had a lot to do with that. He was out for 4 months. He told Breaker he's not ready. Breaker smiled and said, I'm not ready. That's the narrative you're going for. He said with or without Seth, he was well on his way to becoming a main eventer. He said Seth's body and mind are brittle, and his shoulder couldn't handle the weight of the strap anymore. Braun said he tried to win the world title and came up short, but he can rest easy because he lost to the best in the world instead of somebody who proclaims he's the best in the world. He said Seth has all the accolades and all the championships, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He says he is the very best pro wrestler in the entire world at being number 2. If he really wanted to dig deep, he should have mentioned being number 2 in the Shield, then, now, and forever. Because I still take Rollins over Moxley. Seth said, that's pretty good, baby Steiner. He asked if he came up with that on his own, or did he call Big Papa Pump for his hookup? He says he gives him an opportunity to back up his words in 2 weeks at Backlash. He said that he was a Steiner. He referred to him as a Steiner. And he said Braun Breaker isn't even number 2 in his own family. And that's the way the segment came to a close. I thought this was great. This is exactly what it needed to be. We needed to get them back and forth on the microphone, just venting and getting their frustrations out with each other. Being that Backlash is happening in 2 weeks, match is made. I don't know where we go coming out of Backlash, but if this is going to be a straight up one-on-one match, I'm having Braun Breaker beat Seth Rollins. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm having Braun Breaker beat Seth Rollins. Breaker should not be losing this match. He's the guy. He's the one that needs the momentum. He's the one that needs the big win. Rollins will be fine. If you want to do Rollins and Breaker and do the match at Backlash and give Seth Rollins the win, they would almost certainly have to wrestle again with Breaker getting his win back. I could see WWE going 50-50 with this. They don't like to beat anybody. They don't like to make anybody look bad. Triple H breaks out into cold sweats when he's got to beat some of his top talent. He just doesn't do it. He's incapable of doing it. I don't think this is as tough as of a decision. Breaker's the guy. Breaker came back. Breaker's the leader. Breaker wins. It's easy. It's easy. I would not be surprised to see Rollins get the championship match this summer against Roman Reigns. They're going to eventually have to go back to that. I could see it taking place. Rollins is not going to win the world championship, but for them to want to do that at this year's WrestleMania, I do think that they will eventually get that out of the way. How we get there, I don't know. What I wanted to say is, because I know a lot of people want to see Oba Femi win the King of the Ring. If WWE wants to do Rollins beating Breaker, I could see either way this taking place. I could see Rollins winning at Backlash, Breaker getting the win back, maybe in the King of the Ring tournament. Maybe. If Breaker wins, I could see Rollins getting his win back in the King of the Ring tournament and then going on to get Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I know a lot of people want Oba, and I don't think Oba's getting Roman this year. I think Oba, if you're going to do Oba and Roman, you're going to do Oba and Roman at WrestleMania. That's when you're going to do it. You're not going to give Oba his first world championship with Roman Reigns and end Roman Reigns' World Heavyweight Championship run 4 or 5 months into it starting. Roman's holding, if you're giving Roman the championship, then Roman is holding the championship. I think Oba winning the Rumble is a little bit more likely than Oba winning the King of the Ring and getting Roman at SummerSlam. I could see either Seth Rollins or Braun Breaker winning King of the Ring tournament. I could see them doing Braun Breaker and Roman. I could see them doing Rollins and Roman. The World Championship, in my opinion, is going to revolve around Rollins and Braun Breaker right now. After we get done with this Fatu stuff. Rollins and Breaker. But I'm kind of leaning towards Rollins because I think, A, they wanted to do that match at WrestleMania, and B, being that they didn't, they may want to run it back for one of the nights at SummerSlam. I can absolutely see that taking place. I thought this was a great segment. This was my favorite segment of the entire night. They showed Lyra and Bayley getting ready in the arena. Joe Hendry was strumming his guitar. We have a Joe Hendry concert tonight on Raw. This is his main roster Raw debut. Becky Lynch is in the parking lot. They showed Stephanie and Raquel Rodriguez attack Stephanie from behind when they were doing the obligatory everybody arriving in the building. Roxanne Perez was smiling, and then she shoved a rolling crate into Stephanie Vaquer. This was the last we saw of Stephanie on tonight's show. Now, I thought that they may do Stephanie and Liv at Backlash. It just makes sense for them to do that. WWE right now, at least on Monday Night Raw, has 4 matches in the can for Backlash. Rollins Breaker, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Io Asuka, and then Liv and Stephanie. I don't know if Stephanie's hurt. I don't know if they're going to wait on that match and maybe save it for a later date. If this was an injury angle to write her off TV to stall for some more time, I don't know. Coming out of last week's show, I thought that this was all good to go for Backlash. They had a stare down after Liv wrestled Sol Ruca. Stephanie came out and stared Liv face to face and said she wants the championship. Figured they'd just do it at Backlash. Who knows? So that's up in the air right now as Raquel attacked Stephanie Vaquer during the obligatory everybody arrives to the arena. We got Penta. He went one-on-one with Rusev. Now, I thought this was an IC championship. Apparently, this was not. I could have swore I saw this was for the Intercontinental Championship before Monday Night Raw. I even put it in my description for the stream tonight, getting ready. Then we hear from Michael Cole and Corey Graves that this is be in line for a future Intercontinental Championship. So at the start of the match, we got Ethan Page showing up. He shows up, and he goes over to the commentary desk, and he sits next to the commentary team. He wanted a bird's eye view of Rusev and Penta. This match went 8 minutes. I wish we'd get longer matches for stuff like this, but Triple H loves to 8-minute us to death on Monday night. It's 8 minutes, 3 of which takes place in the commercial, and we only get 5 minutes of match. That's the Monday Night Raw formula. So Penta sets up for a springboard dive. Rusev was about to kick him with a Machka kick. Penta knew it was coming, and he held on to the ropes. So Rusev delivered the Machka kick, but to nobody. He turned around. Penta came right back, and he caught him in a schoolboy roll up from behind. 1, 2, 3. And Penta beats Rusev in this non-title match. This is how lazy WWE is. They can't even be bothered to book the workhorse champion with the workhorse championship in more than an 8-minute match. Tony Khan probably looks at this and says, ha, I have Mark Davis going 15 minutes every fucking week. You can't get 15 minutes out of Rusev or Penta on any given week. Which is kind of lame. If I got to watch Mark Davis on Wednesday nights every week for 15 fucking minutes, you can give me Penta for at least 12 or 13. Easy. 12 or 13. 1 commercial break, 3 minutes, 10-minute match on TV. You'll be good to go. This went 5 minutes. We saw 5 minutes, chat. Rusev lost. He was obviously annoyed. Ethan Page was out there. He's looking at this because he wants the IC title. Rusev attacked Penta afterwards. He's got this angry look on him. He stomped away at Penta. Ethan Page joined in on a 2-on-1. Javon Evans, he runs on out. Springboard clotheslines Ethan Page. Penta super kicks Rusev. Evans is up top. He delivers the OG cutter to Rusev. And the baby faces stand tall. I see Ethan Page, Rusev. I could see Joe Hendry fitting in there. Dominic, Rey Mysterio possibly, Dragon Lee. Men's IC title pictures looking really, really good. If you're going to start giving me pro wrestling, which I think we deserve some pro wrestling on Monday night, especially for the workhorse title, Paul. These are the guys that should eat up a bunch of minutes on television doing some professional wrestling. What the fuck do I know? We had a vignette for Grande Americano, Rayo, and Bravo Americano. If you didn't know that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were under the masks, now you do. It's almost like they want you to know Pete Dunne's under that fucking ridiculous mask. Americano says he'd be competing in a mask versus mask match in a few weeks. He says it'll be the most important match of his life and the biggest fight he's ever had. That's true. This is Kaiser's biggest match ever in WWE. He says he'll be fighting for his name and his colors. He says he'll prepare by issuing a respectful challenge to the biggest lucha around, Rey Mysterio. That match will be taking place later tonight. I will definitely be watching that Grande Americano versus Grande Americano match. You guys got to do your job, man. You got to remind me when that's going to be. Becky Lynch. Shout out to Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I did get an opportunity to order their new coffee that released today, Amo Coffee. I got the blueberry and lavender and vanilla. The berry, I forgot what it was. Berry something? Let me see. If you guys go to Amo Coffee, let's see. Amo, they were all sold out. I was going to wait till tomorrow. I'm glad I didn't. All of them are sold out. If you go to Amo, enjoyamo.com, you guys go to the store, that's still available. The one I really wanted was the shortbread cookie. I was like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you get something like that and it doesn't really taste as advertised. So I had the shortbread cookie. That's out of stock. The tasting notes on that one are butter, apricot, and sugar. Sounds good? I will be picking that one up when it's back in stock. I got the berry blossom. This one is also out of stock. Blueberry, lavender, and vanilla tasting notes. Sounds good. They got a tropical passion. That one's still available. So the shortbread and the berry blossom are sold out. This one's passion fruit, pineapple, and lime curd. Sounds good. Sounds like that would make a great cold brew for the summer. Wink, wink. They also have a fruit punch. This one is still available as well. This is juice box, passion fruit, and watermelon. That one's still available. And they got the chocolate strawberry. This one is juice box, passion fruit, and watermelon. But it says it's chocolate strawberry. Maybe there was a typo on the website. I don't know. They're all whole bean. So you're going to need a professional grinder at home. And they're all light roasts. I don't really like light roasts. I like a medium body. I like a medium roast. So if you're going to be brewing these, whether you're making espresso or drip coffee, they have to be at a higher temperature because the light roasts and the flavor profiles, the higher the temperature for the light roasts, that's what's going to really make for a proper extraction. The medium roasts don't really need to be at that temperature. I'm talking about like light roasts anywhere between, I would say, I want to see 199 to 203 Fahrenheit. The medium roast, I usually stay between 190 and 193. I'm a coffee geek. I do this every morning. I grind my own beans. I do my own espresso thing. I got my machine. It's like a ritual. Baron Corbin's got some great coffee, open air coffee. Go get some of his stuff too. I got to check this one out. I'm hearing so many good things about it. And the packaging for their coffee, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's coffee, supposedly won best packaging at the World of Coffee convention in San Diego. Good stuff. So go get yours, man. See, man, me and BC, I mean, listen, man. Me and BC would be amped up. We got the coffee thing going on. I'll make BC a latte that, bro, if I made BC a latte, I guarantee you he'd tell me, JD, this is the best latte I've ever had. Guaranteed. By the way, I only use half and half for my coffee. I like oat milk too. Oat milk is good. I think oat milk is delicious. But I never, under any circumstances, use soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, banana milk, or low-fat milk or non-fat milk. Disgusting. Bro, if you use non-fat milk in your coffee, to me, you're weird. You're a weirdo. Especially in a latte. Bro, you can't get proper foamage with non-fat milk. It's disgusting. It's like drinking water. It's like you're adding, coffee is like 90% water anyway. It's like you're adding water to water. It's disgusting. Soy milk is nasty. I don't know how anybody drinks soy milk. Almond milk, coconut milk. Ugh. Fucking disgusting, man. Whole milk, I'll drink whole milk only when there's no option for half and half. I need half and half. That makes the best lattes. No doubt about it. So yes, their new coffee is out. I'm very excited about it. I may do an unboxing. I may do a video on it. We'll see what happens. But Becky Lynch is out there. Becky Lynch won the Intercontinental Championship for a third time against AJ Lee at WrestleMania. Becky said she's come to Laredo, Texas. The man has come around to Laredo, Texas. She said she is the first woman to win 4 different titles at WrestleMania. And she is the first ever 3-time women's Intercontinental Champion. Eggnog is also very good, but I only drink eggnog in December. Eggnog lattes are the shit. I love a good eggnog latte. She said she won more WrestleMania matches in history than any other woman, and she said she's coming for The Undertaker's record next. I don't think anybody's going to be wrestling that long. The Undertaker's record will forever stand. Nobody's winning that many matches at WrestleMania. She said she's proved she's the greatest female wrestler ever. She said Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report say it. She said it's all great, but what happened afterward was better. She said she saw her baby girl sitting in the front row, and she was able to take her out and walk her up the ramp. She said she realized she needed to show her what a real champion looked like. She said it was not the 5-star hotels and fancy tour buses and private jets, even though I indulge in all those. She said it's about showing up in rundown towns like Laredo, Texas, and showing up for common folk like each and every one of you. She said they want her to defend her title, not just against nostalgia acts and underdogs. She issued an open challenge to whoever wanted to come out there and look her in the eyes. So who's it going to be? Io Sky made her way out. Io Sky said she accepts the open challenge. Becky said she wanted something new, something shiny, something exciting. She wanted the best of the best. Becky's stealing my catchphrase now. Best of the best of the best, huh? And you are none of those things. And then fans booed Becky. Becky then said, look, Io, they're booing you. Fans chanting for Io. Becky asked if she was going to actually get Rhea Ripley coming out now. She said she wanted to fight Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. So she's calling Io the Marty Jannetty of her and Rhea Ripley. Clearly, you've been holding her back. Io smacked Becky. She then stomps away at Becky. Becky rolled to the outside. She grabbed her title and was about to leave. Adam Pearce comes on out and says, oh, where are you going? You issued an open challenge. Io answered the open challenge, so the match is now official. So we got Becky versus Io. This was an Intercontinental Championship match. This was very good. This went 13 minutes with a commercial break. So we got 10 minutes of Becky and Io. So we'll pick it up at the top here. They did mention the Kabuki Warriors. Michael Cole did mention that Io and Rhea beat the Kabuki Warriors last week, and that Asuka was not pleased with the outcome. Corey Graves said we wouldn't be seeing Kyrie. She wasn't mentioned by name. He said that we wouldn't be seeing her former pupil for a long time. So I guess they had to come up with something to make sense of why Kyrie wasn't there anymore. Becky Lynch blindsided Io before the bell officially rang. Io fought back. Both women brawled around the ring. Bell rang as soon as they both got back into the ring. We go into a commercial break. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Becky Lynch is on offense. Io hits a power bomb outside to Becky. They trade back and forth submissions. They go back outside. Io hits a big high crossbody off the barricade. Becky comes back with a superplex, and she floats over into a DDT. Goes for a cover. She gets a 2 count. Io, she was in the manhandle slam. She countered out of it, hits a super kick, and then a stalling butterfly backbreaker for a 2 count. She then hits a tilt-a-whirl DDT. She goes for a moonsault. Becky got her feet up. This was kind of lame because Becky was on the floor. She was on the mat in the ring. She was a little too far away for the moonsault, and then she starts kind of, you see Becky kind of moving over a little bit to get into position with Io doing the moonsault so Becky could get the feet up. It's like, I hate when I have to see that. It's like she landed out of position, so she's like kind of nudging herself over to get back into position. So Io jumps off the top rope. She goes for the moonsault, and then Becky gets the feet up. So Becky got the feet up. She hits the manhandle slam. She gets a 2 count. Io, she is in control again. She nails the acai moonsault on Becky Lynch. So this was to the outside. Io rolls Becky back into the ring. Asuka runs down as Io tries to get back into the ring. She tripped Io off the top rope. So referee didn't see this. Io was down. Becky took advantage. Manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch beats Io and retains the women's Intercontinental title. Asuka attacked Io after the match. She put her in an extended Asuka lock. Io tapped out visibly. Crowd chanted, "We want Kyrie. We want Kyrie." As you physically heard WWE lower the volume on the chants and quickly go into the next segment. They didn't want anything to linger with the "We want Kyrie. We want Kyrie" chants. Now, I got to be honest with you, chat. I don't really have any. It's going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see them wrestle because I think both of them wrestling is going to be a very good match. But if you're asking me if I'm totally invested, if you're asking me if I'm completely bought into what they're doing, I don't care anymore. They need to move on, get it done with, and get the fuck out. That's what they need to do. I don't care about who wins. I don't care about who loses. I don't care. You took away the one thing that was the glue that held this storyline together. This has been going on for close to a year now. Was Kyrie going to eventually realize that Asuka was treating her like shit and bullying her? Was she going to stand up to Asuka? Was she going to realize that Io was right all along? That was the story. It was about saving Kyrie from Asuka's evil and Asuka's bullying. Now that that's not there, why do we give a shit? Outside of this is going to be a good match. You took away the reason to fucking care. Now there is no story. What's the story? Io beats Asuka, and then what happens? It's just a win. She's not saving anything. She's not progressing anything. Io wins, and Asuka loses. Then they go their separate ways. It sucks. It sucks. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. We ranted about it this weekend. People know that we're pissed. The thing that bothers me is there are still so many people, and I know not everybody is connected, and I know not everybody's on Twitter, which I don't blame them, and I know not everybody reads the dirt sheets. Again, I don't blame them. But it pisses me off when I got people like fucking Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited God. You got guys like this. You got other half-witted fucking ghouls online. Oh, but JD, this is all TKO, JD. Triple H, he had nothing to do with the budget cuts, JD. This is what I have to listen to. I'm going to repeat this again so everybody understands me. I'm not speaking Japanese, okay? I'm speaking English. WWE was tasked with making budget cuts. Triple H knew of the budget cuts before Friday. He gave us Io and Asuka. I wouldn't be surprised if he found out about the budget cuts as soon as WrestleMania came to a close. He gave us Io and Kyrie on Monday. He gave us that match on Monday. We come to Friday, we come to find out that Kairi Sane was one of the names released from WWE. Chat, there are legitimately people out there that think Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, and the rest of the TKO board of directors released names like Dante Chen and Tyra May Steele and Zoe Stark. There are legitimately people out there that think Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, and the TKO board of directors physically named these people that they wanted released from the company. That's how stupid social media is. Now, Sean Ross Sapp, you know, for better or worse, him and I don't really see eye to eye. I'm sure he doesn't think too highly of me. I don't think too highly of him. But, you know, I think I'm an honest guy. I thought he got shit on for absolutely no reason this weekend. You got Zelina Vega out there claiming that Sean Ross Sapp is an asshole. Fuck Sean Ross Sapp. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? People claim that Sapp put out these names and there's a whole fucking process that has to happen. WWE released these names in the afternoon. There's a 2 or 3 hour grace period. Sean Ross Sapp finds out about this when he finds out about it. And then he tells everybody that this person's released and that person's released and how many people are released. Meanwhile, Zelina Vega goes on her Twitch and claims that Sean Ross Sapp is an asshole. But when Sean Ross Sapp reported to everybody publicly on Twitter, Zelina had already known she was fired. She got that phone call well before Sapp got that phone call. When Sapp got the phone call, they were already released. It just wasn't made publicly. She already knew. She expected Sapp to wait. She expected Sapp to wait to release this information. Like, Sapp's got to sit there and wait for fucking 24 people to put out public statements about they were released from WWE. What? It was so mind-numbingly fucking stupid. I don't agree with half the shit he does. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he was wrong in that instance. He's 100% correct. Then, the one thing Zelina said in the entire Twitch clip. Oh, I got the phone call from TKO. So you got fucking retard bunch of numbers, and you got a bunch of bots and Triple H apologists and fucking all these other people wanting to spare Triple H the humiliation and the fucking heat in the kitchen. Oh, but Zelina Vega said she got a phone call from TKO. TKO made the firings. It wasn't Triple H. Motherfucker. Triple H was called up by Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro and the rest of the board. Nick Khan told Triple H, Hey, Paul, we need to cut budget. We need to meet their quota. We need to come up with a list of names to meet their quota. We need to cut this amount of money from the payroll, and we need to supply them names by the end of business day, Friday. So Triple H and Nick Khan and Talent Relations came up with a list of names. They then called Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro. These are who we are getting rid of. Do your job and call them and let them know that they are no longer with the company. Wish them well in their future endeavors. There is an order. There is a process in which all of this happens. No, but people ran with Zelina Vega saying, oh, but she got a phone call from TKO. It was TKO that made the call. Triple H had nothing to do with it. When Endeavor bought WWE and they merged UFC and WWE together as one, which is now what you know as TKO, WWE and their human relations department was let go. There was over 100 terminations at Titan Tower. Endeavor got rid of WWE's human resources department. What the fuck do they need a WWE human resources department and an Endeavor human resources department? They're going to cut budget because everything that WWE had, TKO, they're handling UFC. There's one human resources department between both entities, which is now TKO. So where did Zelina Vega get the phone call? She got the phone call from TKO Human Relations, which is WWE Human Relations, because there is no Human Relations Department anymore. Human Resources Department. Why is this so difficult for people to comprehend? Everybody who was arguing this on social media looks like a fucking idiot. And then Sapp with the cherry on top because everybody came at him and he's like, all right, you want to fuck with me? Here you go. Fightful and everybody else reported the names who made the cuts were Nick Khan, Triple H, and WWE's Talent Relations Department. Any questions? Did I speak another language? Did you not understand the words that were coming out of my mouth? Or are you still standing there? Well, I think it still was TKO, JD. How do you know? How do you know, JD? Why are you so anti-Triple H all of a sudden, JD? Because it's fucked up. Oh, but Triple H wouldn't purposely cut Kyrie in the middle of a storyline. Yeah, like Triple H's storylines were so fucking great for the last 2 fucking years. Yes, because this is the same guy who brought Alistair back last year to fire Alistair this year. No, but he won't get... There's no way he'd get rid of Kyrie Sane. Motherfucker brought back Alistair Black literally 1 year ago to get rid of him legitimately 12 months into a 3-year deal. And he wouldn't cut Kyrie Sane? Sure thing, bro. Sure thing. Now that that is off my chest, we can continue. You got to understand one thing about me. If you think I am wrong, and I know I am right, you're never going to hear the end of it. I will do everything in my power to prove that you are wrong. There is nobody listening to me now that could sit there and say, well, JD, he's wrong. Guarantee everybody's like, huh? Yes, we always are. Pro Wrestling Unlimited! Pro Wrestling Retarded! Tim, take a fucking seat, you pussy. Clip that and rant about that on your ex. Because all you do is fucking social media engagement farm. Anything that comes up that's JD from NY related, pussy. You're supposed to be a news channel, yet you're completely disconnected from the fucking news. Maybe we need to find you a new fucking channel. How many live viewers did he have tonight, Hologram? 12? It's worse than the fake reactors over there. Chad Gable. El Grande Americano. OG. He approached Rey Mysterio, asked if he would have his back when he faced El Grande Americano in their mask versus mask match. Mysterio said no. All he wanted was for the two of them to respect Lucha Libre. Mysterio said something in Spanish. Gable, he don't speak Spanish, so he didn't comprehend what Rey Mysterio said, so he just kind of, yes, I understand. So we got Kaiser Americano with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate showing up. Grande spoke to Mysterio in Spanish, but Gable told him to mind his business. They yelled at each other until Mysterio cut them off and said he was not choosing sides. El Grande said he'd see Mysterio in the ring. Again, chat, when does this match take place? This Americano versus Americano match, chat, when does this take place? Byron Saxon tried interviewing the Usos, and he wanted to know what Roman's answer was going to be. Jimmy said the OTC would make the decision when he's ready. May 30th. All right. May 3rd. I have to watch this. That's a whole month away. Why so long? Should be April 30th. He said he wanted to remind him who they are. He told Jay he became a world champion on his own. He said Jimmy has all the potential to be a world champion on his own. But he won't, being in the shadow of Roman. Jay says he should mind his own business. Jimmy says, listen, it's family business. Knight said he respects that, but the power that they have eventually corrupts, and then it does become LA Knight's business. Yeah. Joe Hendry. It's time for a Joe Hendry concert on Monday night. We're basically, chat, reliving the days of a more entertaining Elias, is what we're going for with Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry sat middle of the ring and said, say his name because he has appeared in Laredo, Texas. He said he had a big decision to make lately, and he wanted to tell them about it in a song. He says he's won titles everywhere he's gone, and he's been on WrestleMania and many other shows, but the time has come for him to pick one brand, and he's sorry to the others, but he hoped they'd understand Joe Hendry signed to Raw. He said next time they turn on Netflix, they won't just want to chill since they'll have him believing in a better kind of thrill. He said respect the ruler, and he acknowledges the OTC, but he asked Pierce to fire Logan Paul. So fans cheered, and everyone starts to sing, Paul, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? Logan Paul clearly interrupted. Logan Paul and Austin Theory come out. Logan Paul is yelling, you can't fire me. I'm unfireable. Theory encouraged Logan to go in there and beat the shit out of this guy. He told fans one at a time that they were all awful. He told Hendry he just made the worst mistake of his life, so his first night on Raw will be his last. Theory said he and Logan hold gold and are the greatest tag champions of the world. He says they are winners. Hendry asked fans if they were winners, and Joe says no to that, he said. All I see here is a couple of primetime losers. Theory said the vision goes through everyone, and they're going to go through Joe Hendry tonight. Hendry clothesline Theory. He then slammed Logan into the corner. Theory held Hendry as Logan punched away at him. Street Profits charged on out because this eventually became a 2-on-1. Montez Ford was going to leap off the top rope onto Theory, but Logan pulled him to safety before Montez could hit the big frog splash. Hendry leapt over the top rope onto both of them with his stage dive. His theme played, and he stood in the ring with the Profits, and they were all waving their arms to Joe Hendry's theme song. Wave your hands from side to side and say, I believe in Joe Hendry. This is going to get old pretty fast, isn't it? Listen, I'm a fan of Joe Hendry. But if you're going to run the old Elias gimmick with somebody just a little bit more entertaining, it just gives you that old Elias feel, you know? And none of that was particularly good. Am I going to get trademark blocked? I doubt it. There's no music playing. Do we do the tag team title match at Backlash between the Street Profits and the Vision? Probably not. Probably save that for Raw. It sounds like a Raw match. Backstage, Grayson Waller was demanding an opportunity. He said he is in the best shape of his life. He started bad-mouthing Oba. Waller called him overrated. I'm not going to lie. I laughed out loud at that line. He's overrated. Pierce pointed out that he was standing right behind him. Oba Femi is behind you. Oba said, Pierce, can you give this fool a match with me tonight if he wants an opportunity? Goodbye. Grayson Waller has a death wish on Monday night. Rey Mysterio and Kaiser Americano. This match went 8 minutes, which means it was 5 minutes total with 3 minutes of commercial break. Sounds great and exciting, right? Yeah, hardly. So Rey fought back. He hits a big tornado DDT. At this point, the referee was distracted because of the geeks on the outside. Rayo tried placing the metal plate inside Kaiser's mask. Rey gave Rayo a 619 for his interference. The plate did not wind up in Kaiser's mask. It was on the ring mat. El Grande tried to grab it for himself, but Gable Americano showed up and took it away. So Rey shoved El Grande into Chad Gable before giving El Grande Kaiser a 619 and a springboard splash for the 1-2-3. So we had Gable and Kaiser brawling after the match until officials broke it up. 8 minutes. 3-minute commercial, 5 minute of pro wrestling. Gable is the babyface here in America. Kaiser is the heel. But when we go down to Mexico, Gable is the heel and Kaiser is the babyface. Gable will lose. We need our Chad Gable back. There's no reason to take this gimmick away from Kaiser. He's owned it. He's killed it. He speaks Spanish. You can use him on Raw and on AAA. We need Gable back competing for the Intercontinental title. That's what we need. We got an Asuka promo. Asuka said she wasn't done with EO. She said it's up to her to say when they're done. She said all Sky has done is disappoint her. She said for so long, she blamed herself for her mistakes. And when she turned on her, she blamed herself. But then she finally realized that she is the problem. She said she is ungrateful and selfish and her biggest failure. She said she failed her and her family. She said they're both alone because she didn't want another Io. She said she spared her until now because she thought they could be a family again, but she killed that dream, so now nothing will stop her from destroying Io. She said the lesson will be that she is not and never will be ready for Asuka. I wonder, with Julia losing the Women's United States Championship to Tiffany Stratton, if we're going to move Julia over to Raw and have Julia fill in for Kairi Sane and back up Asuka, while we move somebody from Raw over to SmackDown to fill that missing gap of Julia moving on over. Possibility? I don't know. Oba Femi and Grayson Waller. 1 minute. I'm surprised Grayson Waller actually made the cut, honestly. Surprised he fucking is still there. He could always get cut. But after 24 were released and they didn't let him go? Shocked. Oba said as of today, the Oba Femi Open Challenge will commence. He said anyone in the back who wants to prove themselves and see how they fare up against him, step up. He said he will be merciless, unforgiving, and relentless. He said he will punish them since they'll be stepping into the ring against not an ordinary man, but Oba Femi. Oba is doing this open challenge, and Graves said it's a way to make a name for yourself, just as Oba did by stepping up to Brock's challenge and beating him at WrestleMania. I don't get them doing an open challenge and have this guy wrestling every week for 60 seconds. I'd rather just build them up or build him up. They build him up as a legitimate threat through really, really big matches and story. Like, we don't need to see him wrestling guys like Grayson Waller every week. We don't. That's going to get old very, very quickly. Very quickly. But this is what happens. This goes to show you how fucking lazy and uncreative the writing team is, because they know they want to use this guy, and they should be using this guy. This is also a product of the brands being separated. Let's be real. This is a product of the brands being separated. This is one of the reasons why I hate the brand split. Oba Femi doing an open challenge does nothing but show you how lazy the writing team is. What's the point? He beats Lesnar to do what? Like, what did Lesnar have that Oba has now that he's going to put on the line every week for someone to step up and beat Oba? He's not a champion. He beat somebody at the tail end of their career that spent 2 years away. I get that they want to use this guy every week, but he's an entrance. He's got a great theme. The fans are involved. They want that every week so that their product feels bigger, that their product feels more full of life. Meanwhile, you got someone like Oba who needs to be really, really special and really preserved as special. And you want to throw him out there every week to do what? To do what? If this guy isn't slaying guys twice the size of him, I don't give a fuck who he's in the ring with. Those things don't work now. You got two separate brands, and it only works if there's one brand, which there's not. This is the downfall of having a very unique roster to Monday and a unique roster to Friday. You're going to run through people before you even blink. And then what? I'm not saying keep the guy off fucking TV for 4, 5, 6 straight weeks. But I also don't want to see him on TV every week where he's going to be doing the same thing, giving us nothing new, fighting guys that stand no chance. Open challenges equals creative team lazy. If there's one thing in pro wrestling that needs to go away, it's the open challenge. I guarantee you we see Omos. Guarantee it. Backstage, Liv Morgan. She was able to give a pep talk to both Raquel and Roxanne. Liv wanted Raquel to go away. Go get ready. I got to speak to Roxanne in private. She apologized for how things went down with Finn Balor while she was gone. She said that she knew Roxanne and Finn were close. She said she watched Finn bring her into the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day is family. She said Balor put himself before the family, and she would never do that. Sure thing. If you want what the story's going to be here, that's the story. That's the clue. She said Balor put himself before the family, and she is never going to do that, but she's the women's champion, and she's always going to put herself before the Judgment Day. She said she'd support her, and thus she'll be in her corner as she gets one step closer to tag team gold. She asked Perez if she trusts her. Perez, she wasn't verbal at all, but she nodded yes, but she was not convinced. Perez asked for a little bit of alone time before she goes out there. Liv said, I'll be out there supporting you, and it's a very exciting time for the Judgment Day. Finn sneaks into the Judgment Day clubhouse. He gave her the shh. Balor said not to trust Liv or anyone in the Judgment Day. Perez said, you don't want me to trust them, but you want me to trust you? Why should I trust you? She told him to get out of the Judgment Day clubhouse before he ends up getting hurt. Balor said, fine, you do what you can see that the seeds are being planted for Roxanne and Liv. That good old Roxanne Perez winning Money in the Bank in August is going to hit. Watch. Lyra and Bayley. Tag team match here against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. This was Roxanne's first match back in many, many, many weeks. We'll pick it up after the commercial break here. Perez knocked Lyra off the apron, set up Bayley for a pop rocks. Bayley countered, hit Bayley to belly for 2 after Rodriguez broke up the cover. Lyra tackled Rodriguez out of the ring. Liv Morgan jumps up to the apron. Bayley went after her. Bayley grabbed Morgan by the hair. Morgan jumped down, and Bayley bounced off the rope as a result of Liv jumping down because Bayley grabbed her hair, and Liv ended up jumping down, which brought Bayley down on the top rope. So this allowed Perez to hit a Shining Wizard and pop rocks for the 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day got the big pop here. I think Roxanne is from the area. I know she trained in Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. So she got the hometown pop here. Nothing really special, but gives a win to the Judgment Day and Roxanne a win back on Monday Night Raw. We got a Sol Ruca video package. She signs her Raw contract next week. If you guys watch NXT, her and Zarya had a last woman standing match. I did watch the spot where Sol Ruca went off the little eagle perch in the Performance Center, right above the timekeepers area. There was tables down below. Bro, that spot looked fucking awful. She went through one table and she hit her head, the back of her head, on the other table. That did not break. She missed the other table completely. Scary, scary shit. She had to get staples in her fucking head. Thank God she's all right. So she's signing her contract next week on Monday Night Raw. Excellent addition to the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. 12 staples, says Incredible One. 12 staples. Main event segment. We got Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. Roman's going to give Jacob his answer. Roman had the long Aura Farm entrance. We go to commercial. We're back in the ring. He's got a microphone. He says they created the World Heavyweight title to try and take away his shine. They created this because of me. It never worked. The title don't make the man makes the title, Darby. He said he put the title in the Night 2 WrestleMania main event. I made this title relevant. Yes, let's forget about CM Punk. Now you can finally be proud of this title. Now you can finally respect this title. Now you can actually choose to acknowledge this title. He then asks fans to acknowledge him. Out comes Jacob Fatu almost immediately. Fatu's in the ring. He walks down the aisle. He's angry. He's got a mic. Fatu said Roman gave him a week to decide, but he didn't need a week. He didn't need a day. Hell, he didn't need an hour. He says he didn't hesitate when he told him what he needs, and he needs that title. He told Roman he is stuck in his main event bubble and the tribal chief land. He's stuck in tribal chief world. He says he put in 12 years of hard work and grinding and suffering, not knowing what the next meal was going to be. He said when Reigns was running the Bloodline, he was broke and worrying about his next meal and wondering if he'd ever make it to WWE. He says it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He said now he's standing before him, and he said Jay and Jimmy didn't call him. Solo called him. Solo gave me a chance. Reigns interrupted almost immediately and said, Solo? He said either Fatu was confused or dumber than he expected. He said Solo couldn't get a cup of coffee delivered to the arena. Who do you think runs this place? Fans chanted OTC, OTC. Reigns said the fans are right. I understand that people get distracted and things get hectic. But he said he never forgot about Jacob, and he was the one who signed off on him coming into the WWE. He said Fatu is sounding like a fool. He said he doesn't deserve it, and he doesn't or hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned it. He said allowing Fatu to compete against him is nepotism, and he can't allow it. Fatu, at hearing that, as soon as Roman said it was nepotism, Jacob Fatu attacked Roman and applied the Tongan death grip. So he snapped all over Roman. He vowed to take everything from him as he's got the Tongan death grip applied. Fans are booing Fatu. Fatu releases the hold after choking Roman Reigns out for enough time. He picks up the belt. He looks at the belt. He drops the belt over Roman, and he leaves. Reigns sits up. He's all red in the face. He's coughing. He's choking. He's grabbing his throat. Fatu's walking up the aisleway and Reigns said, Jacob, you want me at Backlash? I'll see you at Backlash. Fatu's music played, and Fatu says, I'm not waiting for Backlash. I'll see your punk ass next Monday. Again, this was a fine segment. I mean, it was very straightforward. There was no real surprises here. I guess the only surprise, Jacob Fatu reiterated what he said. He says, I didn't need that much time to let you know what I was thinking and where my mind was at. Roman Reigns basically said, you're just misinformed. I did care about you. I did ask about you. Solo's not the one who brought you here. It was me. I run this place. I'm the tribal chief. Everything goes through me. I got you in the WWE. Now, I don't know where that is going to lead, all of this. At first glance, I want to say Roman's going to beat Jacob Fatu, and Jacob is going to fall in line with the rest of the fucking family. Where else is it going to go? There's got to be a reason that Jacob is losing. There's got to be something that when Jacob loses, it goes somewhere else. Jacob just can't lose and then go back to SmackDown and challenge Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. This has to lead to something. Whether it's Jacob joining Roman and falling in line with Jimmy and Jay, or Jacob Fatu forming his own family to try and take out Roman. Where else is it going to go? I mean, God forbid we're getting family versus family in some sort of civil war. Jacob and Solo and the MFTs against fucking Roman and the Usos. I'm not really sure where this is going. And I need this to be different. We need this to be different. Right now, I'm still as I was last week. I don't know where it's going, and I get this same old shit feeling. Jacob's going to lose, and he's going to fall in line with Roman. He's going to prove Roman correct. He's not ready. He hasn't earned it. He doesn't deserve it. I feel like we're just going to go back and do the same thing we did with the other brothers. Solo, Jay, Jimmy. And eventually, Jacob's going to say enough of this shit, lead his own faction, or kind of usurp Roman Reigns and trying to take out Roman Reigns from within the bloodline. Bro, they've exhausted every option already over 4 years. How are they going to make this any different? It's very worrisome. I'm not getting a new, fresh feeling. I'm not getting a Monday night after WrestleMania or post-WrestleMania. Oh, this is the big story. What's the big story? You got to give me something instead of waiting on it. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think it is. Let me know what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. It was a ho-hum show. It's a very middle-of-the-road show. Wasn't good, wasn't bad. They got Backlash all ready to go. Liv Stephanie, right now anyway. Io Asuka, Seth Braun Breaker, Roman, and Jacob Fatu. What they're going to add from Friday night, I don't know. Is there anything even meaningful on Friday night to add to the overall show? I don't think they do Cody and Randy. I think they saved that for Clash in Italy. Tag team championships are dead. Maybe we get Trick versus Sammy. Maybe a women's championship match. Rhea versus somebody. I don't know. Don't know where they're going. I feel like WWE is slowly drifting into that autopilot mode after WrestleMania. And we'll be in autopilot mode through May, June, up until SummerSlam. Thank you guys for a great stream. We had upwards towards 3,000 people in here on a Monday night. You guys killed it. Thank you very much for all your support. If you guys want to support the show, super chats are open. Get them on in. We need 100 likes for 1,000 likes. I know there are 100 of you in this chat that have not hit the thumbs up. So if you want to do me a solid, help me out. Hit that thumbs up. If you guys are on the audio side of things, comment and a rating go an incredibly long way. Right now, we're sitting in the top 20. I'd love to kind of break into that top 15. So make sure you guys support over there. Leave a comment, leave a rating. iTunes, Spotify, and all other major audio platforms. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications, and make sure you go check out all of the content on the channel. There is plenty for you guys to get lost in. Big Tuesday will be live Tuesday morning, 11:30, with Jonathan Coachman on his YouTube channel, Behind the Turnbuckle. We have this little show called The 2 Count. So make sure you guys go and check us out tomorrow morning. We're going to have a lot of top stories and wrestling talk tomorrow morning, and then the main event on Tuesday night. Tuesday Night Titans with myself and the Solid Monster. 8:30 right here on this channel. Should be good. Just a word of warning. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live the following Tuesday. And then I think that Tuesday, I think the one after Backlash, we might have to switch days up because I'm going to go see Alter Bridge in concert on Long Island, and that's taking place on a Tuesday. So we might have to shift Tuesday Night Titans to a rare Thursday Night Titans. I'll let you guys know. Let's get to these super chats. We're sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys use that promo code JD at checkout at BlueChew.com. You're going to buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold and get the 3rd month for free. Sounds like a great deal. Code JD at BlueChew.com. Make sure you go support Blue Chew and visit BlueChew.com for more important safety information and all the details that you need on BlueChew.com. $40 more likes. 40 more likes. Let's do it. Caden. $2 super chat. No message. Thank you, Caden. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. JDOTS. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Chicago 4MBK. $5 super chat. With the latest news drops on Triple H's new contract and Nick Khan's dismissal of fans' criticism of WrestleMania, I'm here for JD to light him up. Might have to make a video on this tomorrow. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. What has Triple H done to deserve a new contract? Beats me. All that means is they're not ready to let him go yet. It would be too obvious. The Rock is not ready yet. Billy, 45 months, OTS family for life. The doofus son-in-law does not deserve a contract extension. Kyrie deserves better. Fuck TKO, and God bless America, and God bless JD. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, my friend. Michelle with the $2 super chat. What has Triple H done to deserve a new contract? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's a good question. Boss Mo Jackson with the $1.99. Great segment by Rollins and Braun. We need this on SmackDown. We need a lot on SmackDown to make it somewhat interesting. Michelle with a 2. Seth Braun at Backlash. A good start for the pay-per-view. Yes. Boss Mo Jackson with the $1.99. Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? Yeah. No, Logan Paul's not being fired. Logan Paul would never be fired. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. Open challenge week. Boring. Yeah. Michelle with a 5. Another banger for Backlash. Roman Fatu, but interesting the Usos weren't out there to save Roman. Looks like yet another Bloodline civil war coming. Yeah, they were not out there. I don't know if that was done because they forgot or if that was done purposely. Maybe they really aren't for Roman. You know, Roman never apologized to them. Roman never apologized to them at all. Boss Mo Jackson with a $1.99. I actually liked tonight's show. 7 out of 10. Thumbs up. Grant with a $2 super chat. JD's Raw review graphic is in God mode tonight. Yeah, looks good, huh? Looks good. Cody Snyder with a 48 months. JD, dude, Danhausen stole Mrs. Kid's bike. Laughing emoji. OTS for life. Hashtag we want Kyrie. Yeah, she ain't coming back, guys. She's already in Japan. Cody, thank you for 48 months, brother. That Mustang emote looks good on you. Grant with a $2 super chat. Surprised to see that Waller is still employed, to be honest. Yeah, I am too. Just a lost cause. Chicago 4MBK with a $2 super chat. Great crowd in Laredo made the show bearable. They were quiet at points, but they were loud for what they needed to be loud for. Ryan with a $5 super chat coming to us from New Zealand. Triple H yet again with illogical booking for the Bloodline segment. Uso's back with Roman, yet not in his entrance and not coming out to save him from Jacob. It may be done purposely, Ryan. The Usos may actually turn against Roman. I won't be surprised to see that. Also, Ryan becomes a new member. Thank you, Ryan. Also, with the 2. Oba is back to squash matches again. Good one, Triple H. Andrew with a $9.99. JD, I am just drinking a Mountain Dew Baja Blast right now because I'm working thirds. Sending love towards your show, my guy. Thank you, Andrew. Happy to spend time with you at work, friend. Basic with a $4.99. Triple H got re-signed to a 3-year contract. Guess you can be greatly rewarded by doing subpar work after all. Joseph Taylor with a $9 super chat. Raw 5 out of 10. The only thing I've seen on social media is Weezy being an asshole towards Ring Rant, a content creator guy who wanted advice from her. Joseph, you're way too involved with these irrelevant people, bro. Who cares? So a guy content creator can't ask for advice from a female content creator. I don't know how any of you guys drink soda. Soda is one of the most unhealthiest things that we have access to. Surefire way to diabetes and an early grave is through that type of shit. Cornell with a $4.99. Black hoodie, masked mystery man equals or is greater than open challenge. Triple H, this is what we do.
No more tears, no more disguise. I'm done living in your house of lies.
I don't, Triple M, I don't understand it. When I get off here, I don't care what anybody does or says. I really don't give a shit. I'm getting ready for the next day. Kratos, thank you for the recommitment, brother. Michael Crosby with a $2 super chat. WCW, you had to be the U.S. champ, then main title shot. Ryan with a 5. Why not feud Oba with a Rusev or a Sheamus until the PLE before the King of the Ring? An example is Roman versus Braun. Chaotic brawls, backstage spots, eventual PLE match. Bro, they're not that creative anymore. Like Oba's never gonna look weak. Like they won't do anything to make him look compromised. Nothing. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. Oba needs a feud, some backstage segment, something to do that's significant. Squashing dudes will get old. I'm fine with Waller, but what else do they got? They got nothing. They're gonna dig up Omos because he's a big guy. He's bigger than Oba. Hellfire with a $2 super chat. JD, did you watch the Michael Jackson movie? I did not. Where can I watch it? Jeff with a $50 super chat. Hey, JD, cheers to the GOAT of all the wrestling podcasters in the business. Sirius Satellite Radio, are you ready for JD? I don't think they are ready. They haven't called me yet. SummerSlam 2025, New Jersey, when me, family met you and you were letting us wait in line for the WWE store with you, says all you need to know about JD. Thank you, Jeff. I would do that for any one of you guys. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Shnamtro with a super chat. Oba versus the Sandman in a Singapore cane match. Pal. OTS for life. Black Eagle with a $5 super. I thought Raw on Netflix would be mostly commercial free. They could have done something truly creative in the industry. Might as well be in USA. Bro, you mean them miss out on pumping 3-minute ads? 3-minute commercial blocks every 5 minutes? Yeah, I'm not going to the movies to see that. I'll wait for it to hit Peacock. Adrian with a $1.99. No message. Street Fighter with a $10 super chat. JD, the haters are not worth the free advertisement. Their names don't deserve to be mentioned on your platform. You're right. But when someone is so just obnoxiously stupid, Street Fighter, I got to call them out. Like pro wrestling retarded. And noIQ.com. SRH with a $9.99. Jacob Roman should be very good. Would like to have seen a longer build. Keep telling it like it is, JD. Thank you, brother. Dingleberry, $5 super chat. Just dropping in to see the best of the best. Love you, JD. Thank you, Dingleberry. Moneyman Wow with the $2 super chat. Can you do the but JD? Joe Max with a $7.99. Hey, mate. I don't know if you have or not, but if you want to taste some of the best coffees in the world, you have to come to Australia. I'm also a coffee geek. Brother, I am not, under any circumstances, flying to Australia and spending that many hours on a plane. Not happening. I'll pay the fees to get it shipped over here. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. When the AC broken in Laredo, Texas tonight, or was the AC broken in Laredo, Texas tonight? Every talent was sweaty as hell before they even made it to the ring. Those lights must have been shining bright, Stoney. Also, he says, still here, still loving this shit, JD. 100%. Thank you, brother. $009.5. Listen, I would love to visit. I really would. Sounds like I have it. Looks like I would have a good time. And I love the accent. I love the people. I do. I love the women. But I can't. No way. $009.5. You mean to tell me WWE let all these talent go when in the meantime the fucking Miz is still around? Kiss my ass, Triple H. Thank you, JD. Brother, Miz ain't going nowhere, man. That's an ambassador for life. That guy signed his contract in blood. He ain't going nowhere. Triple M with the $2 super chat. Finally, 550 power. Almost maxed my season pass. Brother, I haven't. Bro, how many people are legitimately playing Destiny 2, bro? 400? I hope the game dies. I really do. I'm bored of everything. I'm bored of Call of Duty. I'm bored of Arc Raiders. I haven't even played Arc Raiders in 2 weeks, bro. I'm just bored. Everything sucks. This new update for Arc Raiders tomorrow looks good, but what's the end game? What am I playing the game for? I play the game to get shit, and then I got to give it all back and wipe and start all over again, man. What the fuck is the end game? Like, give me something to work towards. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. As an OTS newbie, I'm sure it's been asked before, but JD, how the fuck did you wind up a Braves fan? I grew up in Jersey, and they were still on TBS. David Justice, I got into the Braves by collecting baseball cards. My first major baseball card pull worth anything was David Justice. Followed the team ever since. I was a very impressionable young child. Thank you, Don Stoney, for that and the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Clone Force with the 24 months. If they have Fatu join Roman, I'm so done because that's just lazy writing. And we should not go backwards. We need to move forward. And Triple H needs to be fired and hire Heyman. Bro, I don't even think Paul Heyman wants to run creative. Double on 9.5. You mean to tell me WWE let all these talent go? In the meantime, the fucking Miz. I just read that one. Yeah, the Miz ain't going nowhere, bro. The Miz ain't going nowhere. Guy's a WWE lifer. All right, guys, I'm out of here. We hit 1,000 likes. You guys are great. Awesome. Killing it. We got Tuesday tomorrow, big show on Tuesday night tomorrow. Jason and I are going to talk about the releases. We're going to talk about this Monday Night Raw, Triple H, comments by Nick Khan. It's going to be a big night. And then Tuesday morning with the coach, 11:30. Make sure you guys tune in to his YouTube channel, Behind the Turnbuckle. It should be a very good Tuesday. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go and check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. And continue to hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Link down below in the description for merch. I forgot to mention merch. Go get your new t-shirts. They are now available on fourthwall.com. You guys can go get your new Off the Script merch. You gotta buy the shirts, you gotta buy the hats, you gotta buy the koozies and the coffee mugs. How are you gonna drink Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch new coffee without a Tuesday Night Titans coffee mug? Can't do it. Drink the coffee in a TNT coffee mug while wearing the new t-shirt. That's what you got to do. All right, I'm getting out of it. Tuesday night, Solid Monster, myself, Tuesday Night Titans, and then tomorrow morning with the coach. Tuesday's going to be a big day. As always, I'll see you guys tomorrow right here for more on Off the Script. We'll see you guys later.